You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Suffolk police say they used DNA evidence to track down a rich man who was accused of raping a 74-year-old woman in her Holbrook home. Police say Jawarren Booker entered the woman's apartment through a window Friday morning and sexually assaulted her.
To do what he did to a 74-year-old woman is unconscionable and will not be tolerated.
Booker pleaded not guilty to the charges at his arraignment today. And a Selden man is facing charges for allegedly taking pictures up a 13-year-old girl's dress. Police say Akil Ahmad snapped the photos at a Target store in Selden. Authorities say it happened last week as the girl was looking at greeting cards. We're told the girl's dad saw it happen and confronted Ahmed, who then ran away. And Long Island's Jamaican community is coming together to help friends and loved ones impacted by Hurricane Melissa.
It is a humanitarian crisis. We're not just concerned about the storm, it's the after effect.
Donated items can be placed in barrels outside Nolan's Cuisine in Elmont and legislator Carrie Szilagyi's office. Now, in a few moments, Virginia Huey will have more relief on the efforts. Now, only in Newsday, a new bar and restaurant is paying tribute to a beloved soccer coach here on the island. Eddie's Bistro and Bar is now open in Oyster Bay. Soccer ball-inspired light fixtures hang from the ceiling to honor Eddie Riley, whom the restaurant is named after. The spot is owned by Riley's widow, Michelle, and his daughter, Elizabeth. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather. It was a bit chilly today, but we were pretty much dry. You can see tomorrow we have some rain coming in starting around 3 p.m. Temps in the 60s. Of course, we'll have that 7-day forecast for you later in the broadcast. Hurricane Melissa has devastated Jamaica and other Caribbean islands. Now, the Jamaican community here on Long Island is coming together to provide relief. Virginia Huey has a story.
Hurricane Melissa pummeled Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti, leaving dozens dead and widespread destruction. The Category 5 storm tore roofs off buildings, toppled utility poles, and triggered landslides.
He said it's like a tornado, like it's really bad.
Nolan Baker's 78-year-old grandmother rode out the hurricane in an area of Jamaica called Guy's Hill. Baker is worried about how she and Jamaican residents are going to pick up the pieces.
It definitely hurts, seeing that, you can't really do much physically, like go over there and, make a difference.
But Baker and other Elmont residents with Jamaican ties are doing all they can to help. Local leaders and lawmakers are raising money for hurricane relief.
It is a humanitarian crisis. We're not just concerned about the storm, it's the after effect, where, the blessed people of Jamaica may fall subject to malnutrition, cholera.
Organizers urge Long Islanders to use the official Jamaican government website, supportjamaica.gov.jm, to donate.
Now is the opportunity for us to come together and to lend that support that is needed.
In addition to monetary donations, they're also asking for non-perishable items such as blankets and flashlights. You can drop them off here at Nolan's Cuisine and legislator Carrie Szilagyi's offices in Mineola and Elmont. At Uncle Don's Kitchen in Hicksville, owner Patrick Walters is also planning a fundraiser. His brother, cousin, and nephew live in Kingston.
They are right, but no food, no water, no light. So far.
Walters said he plans to place barrels like this outside his restaurant to collect non-perishable donations. He's sending his family and other Jamaicans a message of hope.
Be strong and we will build again, because we is Jamaican. We tough and we always fight.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Early voting is underway in this year's election, but starting next year, how you vote will look a little different. Newsday's Joy Brown explains in today's LI Votes report.
The voters are going to have problems with voter fatigue on 3-page ballots.
This year, voters can focus on local issues like zoning, budgets, and garbage pickup. But in 2026, local races move onto the same ballot as state and federal elections.
Our forefathers for hundreds of years said local elections would be held at one time period and the national elections would be held in another. That's because we want to have those issues that are important, at the most direct impact on our residents, have their own platform.
By 2028, Long Island voters will choose everyone from president and Congress to state lawmakers, all the way down to town supervisors and judges. The change impacts candidates, too. 7 of 10 town supervisors on the ballot this year will have to run again in 2026. And experts say local races will be forced to compete with national races and national money.
You're going to have all these Washington special interest groups, the super PACs, the 527s, coming here, buying up all the TV time, all the social media time. There's going to be 20 pieces of mail in the mailbox every day.
One upside? Turnout could surge.
In presidential elections, we can see anywhere close to 70% turnout. In local year elections, we could see as low as 18 to 20% turnout. So for county executive or town supervisor, county legislator, all of those campaigns used to be focused on what was going on in our own backyards. Now we're going to have to figure out how those local candidates fit into the national level.
Voting is what's important to me, and voting against the politicians that I don't care for is most important.
These local elections, to me, are just as important as the national ones like we had last year. They really affect your daily lives.
I have a lot of faith in the intelligence and the capacity of Nassau voters to pay attention and vote properly and fill out their ballot. I'm not worried about Nassau voters.
Joy Brown, Newsday TV.
And only in Newsday, a new report shows Nassau spent big on outside lawyers. The NIFA audit found the county's spending on outside lawyers increased more than 200% between 2023 and 2024. That's a jump from $1.4 million to $4.5 million. Newsday's Nassau political reporter Candace Ferretti tells us why.
The county's fiscal watchdog, NIFA, commissioned a report using an accounting firm from Hauppauge. It's an independent firm, and that firm released its report, finding that in the 1 year between 2023 and 2024, that spending rose because the county attorney's office, who's responsible for assigning these cases to outside law firms, actually in many cases did not follow its own bidding rules.
Now, the audit found Nassau ignored its policy of soliciting proposals from law firms on its panel. The county executive claims some cases require special expertise found only in private firms.
You probably recognize the home in this photo from Newsday's archives, now infamously known as the Amityville Horror House.
To a lot of people not on Long Island, the Amityville Horror House defines Long Island.
Former Newsday reporter A.J. Carter was on the story in November of 1974.
You've got the very big story of the day. You throw all the resources you can in.
23-year-old Ronnie DeFeo had killed his family by drugging their dinner and shooting them as they slept. His parents, 2 sisters, and 2 brothers.
This is not, how could a person like this commit these acts? It was, he wasn't the best guy in the world.
Police say Ronnie was a heroin user and killed his family to benefit from their insurance policies as the sole survivor. But at one point, he claimed a demonic voice told him to kill. The Lutz family moved in a year later.
I broke the story about the Amityville Horror.
And lived there for barely a month before abandoning the home and everything in it, saying they saw figures, heard strange sounds, and felt vibrations.
We thought it was so silly, that who would believe this? We put the story in the paper, almost holding your nose, haunted house, whatever. And then, of course, when the book came out, the Amityville Horror book, and the movie, and it took on a life of its own. You reported the story because it was a story. Did you believe it? No.
Their story has been debunked, but to this day, many people still drive by the home with a haunted history, despite major renovations to change the home's appearance and a new address.
Ronnie DeFeo spent the rest of his life in prison. He died in 2021 at the age of 73. Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglant.
first went out to Orient right off the causeway. There we have thousands of lantern nets, which is a commercial type of aquaculture gear. They house scallops ranging from a couple months to about 18 months. Right now we currently have about 700,000 to 800,000 scallops out there. It's called the spawner sanctuary. They're protected from predators, so you have no predation, but you also have them in very close proximity to each other, so you're helping ensure successful fertilization of the eggs by the sperm, which really helps promote that recruitment that we want to see. And what we actually went out and looked at today were 2 different lineages we produced in 2024. The first line we looked at were scallops we produced from Moriches broodstock that we collected in 2023. And then the second line would have been produced from Peconic broodstock that we collected throughout the Peconic in 2023. And the idea behind having multiple lineages, we started seeing survival trends and differences between different lineages, specifically Martha's Vineyard and Peconic lineages. So the Martha's Vineyard lineages, we were seeing anywhere from 70 to 95% survival by harvest, whereas the Peconic ranged from 5 to 25% survival. So the idea was, if we're seeing increased survival in Martha's Vineyard scallops, maybe we'll see increased survival in Moriches scallops. So this year we spawned Martha's Vineyard, Moriches, and Peconic scallops, and we have about 700,000 of them out there right now, where they'll spawn and hopefully distribute those genetics throughout the Peconic. This parasite was first documented in 2019, and we can say it's largely responsible for the die-offs we're seeing in the Peconic.
Just for you personally doing this, you know, is there just a personal passion to like kind of solve this puzzle that will mean so much, you know, for consumers who have a big demand and for the economy and the
I mean, so like, don't get me wrong, I love the science, but like this isn't a science experiment. Like this is applied science to a problem, which is the economy, which is these baymen, which is their families, bringing back all of the lost revenue. I mean, this is right around Christmas, Hanukkah. So like these families potentially don't have anything to buy gifts with, and you know, that's what we want to bring back.
I'm Doug Geed for Newsday TV.
Celebrity chef Tom Colicchio stopped by Newsday Studios. Newsday food writer Erica Marcus moderated a conversation with him last night here in Melville. The 8-time James Beard Award-winning chef is celebrating the 25th anniversary of his book, Think Like a Chef.
The concept behind the book was to teach people, number one, that it's more about techniques, and once you understand that, then trying to teach a couple different ways to think about putting together dishes so you can create your own food as opposed to following a recipe.
Top chef, executive producer, and judge also took questions from the audience. All right, now let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast to see how Halloween is shaping up. Of course, that is this Friday, and it looks like we are still dry. I've been tracking this all week to make sure it's not raining so my kids can head out there. Thursday, tomorrow we do have some rain. Friday we have some wind. It looks like we're dry throughout the next couple of days. Temps will be near 60s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC. Newsday has complete coverage and in-depth analysis of the races affecting Long Island, interactive voter's guide to all races in Nassau and Suffolk counties, and regular updates from Newsday TV with live results after the polls close at newsday.com/LIvotes.
Now for more on the stories you've seen here today, head over to newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. I'm Ken Buffa, more news coming up.